Yeah, my name's Aaron Bailey. Um, I grew up um, in Dayton, Ohio. Um, I came from a family that alcohol and drugs ran on both sides. Alcohol ran on my mom's side, and then drugs and alcohol ran on my dad's side. And I remember growing up as a child. Um, I was the type of kid that didn't fit in school, um, fit in with nothing. Um, Grew up in a school that I was given certain names that made me not feel like I was part of in life. So just growing up as a kid, not being feeling like I was part of. Um, I had family members, my sisters growing up, um, and they didn't even fit in either. So they thought it would be cool to get me messed up. So I got introduced to marijuana when I was 12 years old, um, and I ended up smoking marijuana for at least a couple years, and then about 15 or 16 years old, I got introduced to alcohol. So when that took off, it seemed like that everything I felt in life went away. To not feeling part of, not like just all the feelings I had inside start fading away. So as I was doing all that growing up as a kid, um, I realized that there was some other stuff that started happening in my life. I was physically abused when I was a kid, um, and my father was a severe alcoholic and drug addict, and he did some things to my sister. So as being the boy in the family, I took that personal and I dragged that with me in my entire life. And for me, I was so empty inside that didn't have no worth. But same at the same time as when I was growing up, I thought that was what I was going to live as, is going having a good time. That's what I thought as a kid. That's what I seen when I was growing up as a kid, watching my dad having friends over. My mom and them would have company and play cards, and so as a kid, I thought that was the lifestyle that people lived. So that was my life. Um, so I I went through school and I completed school, and I remember seeing my friends dropping out, and I remember I was like, I'm not going to be like my friends. I'm on complete school. So I graduated high school, Fairborn High School, 2003, and then after that, that's when my addiction really took over. Um, Started getting charges, getting arrested when I was 21. Um, Remember getting so many charges, I ended up spending a lot of my adult life in jail, in and out, in and out, and for me, that that didn't seem like it did anything to me, because for me, as an alcoholic and a drug addict, there was nothing that was going to stop me from continuing to do what I was doing in my life. So eventually, I think it was 2008 when I caught my felony in Fairborn, Ohio, and actually, I thought that would be my bottom there, but it didn't. It didn't stop me. I remember telling my probation officer that I'm not going to stop, and I remember the last time I told my probation officer I like the taste of alcohol. That was back in 2012. So I want to go back to I've been in treatment um, I went to treatment in 2009, in 2010, and then I went to another. That was Christopher House, and then I went to Greenleaf, um, 2011, 2012, and it seemed like after I violated my probation in 2012, they told me I had an option to go into treatment in Dayton or go to prison. And that made me decide that I was going to go move to Dayton, and that was going to be what's going to change me. So I went to the program called the Joshua House Ministries, and so I completed that in 2012, and I moved over, and I managed to stay sober for 10 months on, and then 2015, it 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 pretty much took off. My addiction really took off, and this is the part that that I really don't like talking about, because this is where my bottom in my addiction happened. I ended up moving to a house. I was in and out of recovery for at least 2.5 years. Couldn't get no time. I'd go in for 6 months, or I'd go a couple days, and it seemed like I couldn't get no time because uh, I I was just trying to chase after my time, and I remember this old timer telling me, "Won't you just chase after one day at a time?" And for me, I want to go back to, because this is where it really got bad. I moved over to his house that had bed bugs and cockroaches, and uh and I was at a point where I didn't want to live anymore. Um, I I I ate 25 Adderalls from October 8th, 2017 to October 10th, 2017, and that was my breaking point. And you know, and I wanted to say this: my first 5 months of my recovery, um, because my sobriety date's actually October 11th, 2017, and and so I lived in a house that moved over on the east side, lived there, rented in a house through one of my friends through the Outcast Motorcycle Club. So I ended up let me see, I ended up staying there for at least 5 months, staying sober with people using around me, and then two later on, I think it was 2018, end of 2017, beginning at the end of 2017. That's when I moved into the Good Shepherd Ministries. Then that's where I stayed there for at least 2 months, and I had at least 5 months of sobriety when I moved into Good Shepherd Ministries, and I've and I ended up moving over to a recovery house called the 440 Sober Living. I stayed there for at least I stayed there for a while until 2019, and then I had an apartment, um, traditional housing, transitional housing. I moved there, stayed there for a year, and then I finally got me an apartment, that I'm presently living right now. I've been there, um, going on 3 years, and I'll be honest with you, my life has not been the same since. My life has been really good. I got I'm actually working in the treatment field now, and I'm working with people in the community, and to me that's a big part of my life, because I get to have the opportunity to see people that shows me what what it was like when I was in early recovery. And to me today, that reminder, um, those reminders are what helps me each and every day, because my sponsor today, because I got a sponsor, and I do work a 12-step program, and and I with my job, it helps me to keep me centered and focused in my recovery today. So, you know, I enjoy what I do, and I still, because I live somewhere else, I still continue to come. I'm still affiliated with the Good Shepherd Ministries, and I continue to help them one day at a time. So, you know, life's good today, and and if there's something out there that I can let people know out there in the community that's watching this video, is just know there's hope, and just know if you're willing to do whatever it takes to get clean and sober, then with that, you're probably going to be able to make it far in life. So, you know, I can say life's good today, and that's pretty much I got to share.